Welcome to another T2 challenge here at ICC for week number 12. We've got two great players with LIU Dan playing against TIAN Ye. My name is Sean O'Neill. Joining me tonight will be Corey Eider of the LIU Table Tennis Center. Corey, what do you think about this upcoming match?
Sean, we got a great matchup tonight between LIU Dan and TIAN Ye. The most interesting thing, if a lot of you guys have seen LIU Dan play in the past, you're used to seeing him play with the reverse penhold backhand. No longer is that the case. He is now playing with the shakehand's grip. So I'm curious to see where his level is at, if he made an improvement, if he made a drop. Both of these players, their strength is definitely offense and definitely forehand. Their next best strength is their short game. Both of these guys have incredible short games, really good forehands. We're not going to see a lot of backhand to backhand rallies tonight like you're seeing right now in the warm-up, but very evenly matched. They've both been in the States for a while, and they play kind of that, vintage Chinese style where they both have great footwork, elite footwork, really good forehands, and they control you in the short game. So a great matchup tonight. It's going to be kind of strength on strength tonight.
Well, I think both of these guys have such sound fundamentals. Any player watching them, especially from the footwork, from the placement, serve and serve return, you're going to see some very steady play.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of pushes to the really wide backhand, short, wide backhand, so that if they are going to step around, they're going to have to give up the whole table for it. So get ready to see a master class here in the short game of table tennis. And of course, just when I say that, he serves long down the line to the forehand.
Definitely wanting to set the table with a little bit of action here. But it's nice to see a pen holder going to shake hands with LIU Dan. He'll definitely have an idea with TIAN Ye where to place the ball because he knows it exactly himself as well.
There's no question, Sean. With the reverse penhold backhand, the weakness of it is that it makes it very difficult to block. It's easier to counterattack with it, but much more difficult to block.
A lot of nice touch shots there at the early point on the 2-2 point, but then TIAN Ye with a very strong reverse penholder backhand loop for the score.
Great counter looping action, and you're going to see some of those points tonight. Both of these guys have tremendous footwork and unbelievable forehands. I think you're going to see a lot of that tonight.
I'm really interested, Corey, with LIU Dan's backhand. If he's pretty much just going to keep it into play, move the ball around, or if he's going to actually put a little bit more on it, knowing that traditionally when he plays the reverse penholder backhand, he can really punch that ball hard.
Yeah, I've played LIU Dan before, unsuccessfully, might I add, on my part. And it looks like his backhand actually looks a little better shakehand. He didn't really have a great flip before with the backhand, and he looks like he's trying to go more for heavy spin on the backhand over the speed. He's trying to load it up with spin so he can get in this powerful forehand in the rally.
So far, LIU Dan looking very strong, up 6-4 here in game one. So LIU Dan with some very quick off-the-bounce backhand loops.
Sean, I'm telling you, his backhand looks better shakehand than it did reverse penhold backhand. He is not making any errors on the backhand side, and it looks like he's getting some heavy spin. Even there, the backhand counter reloop. He used to have to step around and just sell out positionally and go forward with the forehand. He's making backhand counter loops. His shakehand game looks unbelievable, and I don't think it can be underscored how big of a change and how difficult that is. As early as a year ago, he was playing reverse penhold backhand, and now he's playing shakehand.
And now with game point here in game number one, LIU Dan with the serve. And what a very strong finish here on game one. Nice forehand rip cross court.
And this is going to be a master class also in, how they say table tennis is a lot closer to chess than it is checkers. This game is going to show you exactly why that is. It's all about ball control and placement. And LIU Dan is one of the smartest players in the country. I've coached against him where I've had players playing against him, and he is maybe the toughest coach in the country to coach against because he is so smart. And he is an unbelievable coach, and he's also our coach of the year last year, and deservedly so. He works his butt off. He just had a baby not long ago, within the last year and a half. And as a person, he's he's everything you could want. He's just an unbelievable guy. It's good to see him. And he still looks like he really likes to compete. He really likes to play. Just changing to shakehand, having a baby, and still out there battling and playing at a really high level is really impressive.
Well, I know for the Coach of the Year award that you mentioned, the ICC players nominated him, and they've been just so fortunate and happy to have him in their corner and just really helping our junior players on the national team. And again, setting a super example by willing to do a pretty substantial style change. But so far, we've seen his backhand look just really stellar.
Yeah, no, it looks really good. He's not making very many mistakes with it. And I think TIAN Ye, since he's played LIU Dan in the past, he's expecting one thing, and he's like, wait a second, what is this guy doing playing shakehand and spinning balls off the bounce at me? He's not making any mistakes on the backhand side. Like, who is this guy that I've played so many times before?
On that last one, TIAN Ye did do a nice job of pushing deep into the backhand. I'm surprised that LIU Dan has sometimes pushed off of a deep push, and maybe that might be the one area that he hasn't really spent as much time on. But definitely his blocks and over-the-table backhands have been really solid.
Sean, TIAN Ye's service game, they don't look as good as his serves are. They're really spinny. And sometimes, until you play against guys like that, you don't really know how good their serves are. He does a really, really good job controlling the length. Sometimes you think the ball's coming out and then it doesn't. And his underspin serve is really heavy, and then he gives you the no spin. And if you go under that ball and pops it up, he's just going to crank forehands at you.
He definitely has the body and the legs to put some pressure behind the ball. But I'm really, really impressed here by LIU Dan's ability to just play those backhands off the bounce. It's almost like he's doing a drill with some of his students where he's just keeping them on the move, moving it without any hesitation. You can see TIAN Ye going, what in the heck is going on here? LIU Dan with
right.
Just a smooth backhand loop on him. Oh, beautiful deep push there by LIU Dan. Oh, even better. I thought LIU Dan's backhand loop off the bounce was going to be a point winner. TIAN Ye just takes it off the bounce himself down the line.
And you can see, Sean, when you play players like that are this level, there are very few free points. There are no serve receive misses. They very rarely miss openings. They're in the rally all the time, and once you get there, if you place the ball to the wrong spot, you're in trouble. Even if your ball quality is good, if it's to the wrong spot, you're in deep trouble.
Once again, you see LIU Dan, always known for just exceptional footwork. Doesn't have to move as much now that he's playing with a shakehand's backhand, but still the ability to step around that corner very well. Beautiful over-the-table loop by LIU Dan to bring it to 9-all here in game two.
This is a critical game for Liu Dan. TIAN Ye got the serve at 9-9. You always have the best chance to win when you're the one serving at 9-9. Let's see if he can capitalize and take a 2-0 lead.
Big error right there. Now, Liu Dan with game point. Unforced error there on that last forehand. So Liu Dan takes game 2.
Dan Liu really fought back there, Sean. He popped that no-spin serve up a little bit, inviting TIAN Ye to come over the table right there. And Liu Dan was really in trouble in this point. TIAN Ye had full control over it, but this is where the footwork comes in, where you got a guy in the backcourt that can cover so much space, and it's just tough to get a ball by him. Yeah, I bet you TIAN Ye really wants to have those last 2 points back. He missed a sitter at 9-9, and then he had Liu Dan on the ropes there at 10-9, down 10-9, and couldn't convert. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. But both of these guys, Sean, are such even keel competitors. They're not going to be emotionally up and down. They're both very professional and businesslike in the way they approach it. So I don't think it's going to have lasting effects. Although it is tough to put in the back of your mind when you kind of have the game on your racket like that and a chance to go up 2-0. But credit Liu Dan for hanging with it and fighting his butt off and using his legs to get him back in the match here.
Really playing smart, just nice control, and again that backhand, nice forehand there to start off here game 3. I love to see it when Liu Dan is really moving his feet well, because you know he's going to get his forehand into play. Great shot there by TIAN Ye. Really was patient, Corey. Took his time, worked the point, didn't overhit, just kept the ball in play in front of him.
Yeah, no doubt. And realizing that Liu Dan is the one in trouble, TIAN Ye doesn't have to do anything special there. Liu Dan is the one that has to try to find a way to get out of that problem.
In the backhand-to-backhand exchange, you got to give credit to Liu Dan. He's scoring more than his fair share.
Nice serve mix up there by TIAN Ye, going to the short wide backhand that time. Liu Dan probably should have flipped that serve, but I don't think he expected that placement, as TIAN Ye's been serving the whole match to the short forehand.
And it almost seems like, Corey, when Liu Dan is playing his backhand, it's so quick that TIAN Ye doesn't have enough time to take a full backswing. And he's kind of just like shortening up his stroke, giving Liu Dan a lot more time to pick and choose where he wants to go with it.
And there's no question, Sean, the hardest thing about playing against somebody that has a reverse penhold backhand is that the ball has side spin and it comes at you awkwardly. It doesn't come at you like a traditional backhand does. So the side spin almost makes it like when you play against a lefty forehand and the ball's kind of always hooking into you with the weird side spin, and it makes it difficult to play attack. But Liu Dan is having no trouble with that at all, which is really impressive considering he just changed his grip not long ago.
Oh, beautiful forehand flip down the line by Liu Dan. Took his time, kept TIAN Ye stuck in the backhand corner. Just played it beautifully down the line, and that's going to force a timeout.
There's no doubt, Sean, and that's something only elite players can do and do really well. Is right there, Liu Dan did a good job of playing the ball and his opponent at the same time. He could keep his eye on the ball and still watch his opponent in the periphery. He saw TIAN Ye turn a little bit, and he took the ball down the line. Unbelievable patience, and it's one of the things that makes Liu Dan such a great coach also, is he plays with such intelligence, and that's what makes him a hard player to beat.
You can see him almost like a coach on the other side of the net, watching not only his opponent, but treating him almost like a student to see where he's not able to cover up and also where he's trying to go.
Yeah, there's no question. I'm anxious to see. The only thing I'd like to see a little more out of TIAN Ye is I wish he could make his serve a little bit longer. Not serving so short where it's a little bit easier to drop shot it. Maybe I don't think LIU Dan has a great backhand flip. That's the only change. If I was coaching TIAN Ye, I would have him make his serve a little bit longer. See if I could force LIU Dan to try to use some flips, because that ball, if it's half long, is a really tough ball to drop shot.
Definitely feel like LIU Dan would like to be closer to the table. He's backed up quite a few times. He's had a couple of breaks that have gone his way, but clearly anytime he can play a little bit closer to the table and get that forehand loop in just like that, it's definitely going to pay bigger dividends.
Yeah, and even the location of that attack is what makes it so good, Sean. That ball was so wide out to TIAN Ye's forehand. It's unreturnable.
As a pen holder, it's even tougher to cover that super wide forehand, knowing that you expose the backhand. And that's a great third ball attack there by TIAN Ye.
Yeah, and that's what I'd like to see him do a little more of, is serve a little bit longer. Don't try to sit there and play short all the time. You haven't had a lot of success in the short game against LIU Dan, but it's hard because TIAN Ye has so much confidence in his own short game.
Oh, lucky break there by LIU Dan. Catches the net to go up 9-5 here in game 3. Great presence of mind by LIU Dan to be able to return that net ball, but credit TIAN Ye for staying with the point even longer and bringing it back to 9-6.
Strong forehand tax there by TIAN Ye, and that's where he's at his best. He's got to try to stay out of these backhand-to-backhand rallies and really get in a little bit more with his forehand.
Again, LIU Dan with a nice backhand topspin. TIAN Ye just looking, what do I have to do to deal with this guy? Excellent play off the backhand side.
No doubt TIAN Ye had him out of position, Sean, and Dan LIU with a great reloop off the backhand side.
Very strong play there by TIAN Ye to bring it back to within 2. But LIU Dan with the serve trying to go up a very strong 3-0 here in games in this best of 7. TIAN Ye not giving an inch. Brings it back to 10-9.
I like the play there, flipping and trying to stay away from the short game a little bit more often, where he hasn't been as successful as he is in the rally.
And LIU Dan with another game under his belt, 11-9.
TIAN Ye's playing pretty good. The problem is, Sean, he's really struggling to execute at the end of the games. Like, for a player like this of TIAN Ye's level, that's a pretty easy forehand. LIU Dan let that serve go a little longer than he wanted it to. That's an easy ball for a player like TIAN Ye that he missed. And he had the same struggles at the end of game 2. And it also let him down there in game 3. He's playing well. He's just not playing well at the end of the game when he really does need to play well.
Yeah, and I mean, after the 11-4 first game, we've had 2 games decided by only 2 points. And TIAN Ye is going to have to figure out some answer for LIU Dan's backhand play, which has been exceptional so far this match, and a lot of very strong placement, and also that wide hooking forehand that LIU Dan's been able to employ has really done a nice job.
Yeah, there's no question. I'm curious to see if TIAN Ye is going to change strategies a little more this game and try to get into the rally earlier, flipping the serve and trying to serve a little bit longer himself, just try to stay away from the short game and try to get into the rally a little bit more.
Lucky break there, but again, credit LIU Dan. Nice backhand play after a series of good forehands. TIAN Ye definitely needs to get his forehand going. Seems like if he could play it a little bit more to the middle, find that elbow, could help him out so far in this match. you couldn't have hit a better elbow shot, and somehow LIU Dan was able just to come back with almost a similar style block for the winner. How is that even possible?
He looked almost like a baseball player on that shot, Sean. And sometimes when you're hitting shots like that, TIAN Ye is kind of like, man, what do I got to do to score against this guy?
I mean, I thought that was the go-to location. LIU Dan just proved me completely wrong. And now again, beautiful backhand play. That ball just misses by a little bit, but TIAN Ye definitely trying to mount a serious comeback here. But LIU Dan firing on all cylinders, especially with his backhand.
There's no question, Sean, after watching this match, and I know it's only one match, but LIU Dan's backhand definitely looks better than it did when he played with the reverse penhold backhand.
Yeah, it just seemed like when I watched him at the Olympic trials, he was so dependent on his footwork. He just had to be running all over the place. And now he has such a more balanced game in that forehand. Great over the table there. Just perfectly placed into the body. And now up 8-2 here in game 4.
Man, that's incredible footwork. TIAN Ye's trying to do whatever he can to get away from that short game, and man, LIU Dan just punishes him with that was a pretty good serve, and LIU Dan with an incredible forehand down the line. It's really tough to try to get into a good rhythm here for TIAN Ye.
And on top of this, Corey, if LIU Dan is able to score this final match point, he will give Team Alpha 2 points, which will put them back in the lead here in this team tie. Now with another set of match points, and LIU Dan takes it 11-3 in game 4 for a very resounding 4-0 victory over TIAN Ye, in which we saw 2 games that were so tightly played, but game 4 was all LIU Dan.
Yeah, Sean, I think the tail of the tape here is going to tell you, if you rewatch this match, that TIAN Ye really needed to get that second game, and either the second or the third, and he had both those games on his racket to either get it to at least get it to deuce, but he needed one of those games, and when LIU Dan got out of those 2 games, I think TIAN Ye kind of, the wind came out of the sails a little bit, and credit Dan Liu, no free points, and the backhand looks unbelievable.
And now you can see the player leaderboard with LIU Dan now being in 5th place with that 2-point victory, as well as helping his team go up now by 1 point after trailing. You see TIAN Ye now in position 23. Of course, the winning team, whether it's Alpha or Omega, will advance to the T2 finals next week. We've got more matches upon us, so please join us for more T2 action next week. My name is Sean O'Neill. Thank you, Corey Eider, for a chance of seeing some T2 challenge matches on USATT Thursday Night Live.